Welcome here to the Wilson Tigers versus Dunbar Crispin time. Starting lineup is for Dunbar, number 1, Milton Milling. Number 2, Michael Cheadle. Number 15, Chris Mateo. Number 20, Taiwan Jackson. Lastly, number 24, Java Harris Jr. And now, the starting lineup for your Wilson Tigers. Number 0, Eric Morgan Jr. Number 1, Nasir Best. Number 5, Messiah Brown. Number 11, Philip Carter. Lastly, number 2, Darren Buchanan Jr. So after a long day of 2,
Because the music. We gotta mute.
sorry about the music there, but after 2 long games, not very closely contested games, we had the boys JV basketball for Wilson beat boys JV basketball for Dunbar, and girls varsity for Dunbar beat girls varsity for Wilson. This is a nightcap for today, and we're expecting a really good showdown between these 2 good teams. So for commentary, there's Gabriel Vani and
Nathaniel Wigman.
the famous Nathaniel Wigman, as seen on Overtime and Twitter. So we're just getting ready here, making sure the refs are ready to go. And got 8-minute quarters for you.
Wilson is coming into this game after winning 2 straight in the Martin Luther King Day tournament.
It's impressive results. This brings in basketball teams from Canada as well as all over the United States, and so that was some good playing experience for Wilson. And tip is underway, and Wilson's going to win the tip.
Dunbar sets up into a 3-2 zone.
Wilson starts with the play, and it's going to be a dunk for Darren Buchanan Jr. Off to a hot start already.
Darren's a great player. He plays a lot above the rim. He's very athletic and really great finishing around the rim.
Yeah. Wilson coached with a great point there. That probably should have been a backcourt violation. Darren Buchanan with a long pass out front. Oh, and a hard foul on number 5, Messiah Brown. So he's going to go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is on number 15, Chris Mateo. It's going to be his first of the game.
That's exactly what Wilson wants to do. They like to, they have their full court press, which they like to cause a lot of turnovers and then get out to get easy buckets in transition, like they did right there on the full court pass from Darren Buchanan Jr.
And the first free throw from Messiah is good. And the second free throw is no good.
Trap by Wilson.
Good trap, and it's gonna be a timeout on Dunbar. So not a very good start here for Dunbar. Let's see if they can pick it up here. Wilson off to a hard start, but we'll be back after the timeout. It's 3-0 Wilson. Come back from the timeout here. 3-0 Wilson over Dunbar. Dunbar's going to inbound it from the sideline. And Wilson playing in their trap. They're going to call foul here on Wilson. Foul's going to be on Eric Morgan Jr. for a push.
One of the main things Wilson does is they get off to an early start where the teams are down like 12-0 or 15-0 even in all their games, and it's very hard for the other team to get back into it at that point because they gotta get used to Wilson's pressure, which is very different than other teams.
Yeah, it's a good play there to draw the charge. Charge is going to be against number 2, Michael Cheadle, and it's going to be Wilson ball here. But, you know, Dunbar, if they're going to play in that zone, how do you think they're going to be able to handle Darren Buchanan Jr. in some of the bigger targets in the middle of the zone?
Well, I mean, like Wilson is a pretty tall team compared to Dunbar. They have a little bit more of a size advantage, so they should be able to attack inside. So they're gonna have to watch out and make sure that they don't give up any open looks when Wilson also has lots of shooters. So they gotta watch out for that also, as they've switched into a man now.
Yeah, I think that's gonna better suit them. Oh, and there's gonna be a travel on Wilson. It's gonna give the ball over to Dunbar early on. Good start here from Wilson so far, I think. For Dunbar, it's going to be key that they move the ball quick and that they get the shots they want, the easy shots. Oh, and you can't really miss those sitters, the ones that Wilson will give you, even though Wilson has a good defense. But this is going to be a tight game, and if Dunbar wants to pull it out, then they're going to have to make sure that their shots are on and that they're creating good shots for themselves.
Yeah, it wasn't really about creating a bad shot there. That was a good look. They just missed a wide open layup.
Yeah, and they look a little unorganized to start, passes going everywhere and whatnot. It's going to be a missed 3, and they're going to call a foul on number 1, Milton Milling.
That's 3 fouls early for Dunbar. If they keep this up, it's going to be a lot of free throws for Wilson.
So Wilson brings it up the court here, trying to attack that vicious Dunbar zone that they got cooking up. It actually looks like they moved to man-to-man here.
Another foul on Dunbar. Wilson's trying to attack inside, and that's causing Dunbar, as a smaller team, to really have to foul to stop Wilson from attacking inside.
Yep, and that last foul was on Java Harris Jr., so he'll take a seat to avoid some early foul trouble here. This Wilson team is exciting to watch. When they get in the open floor, they got some fancy things they like to do, and so hopefully we get to see some of those opportunities tonight. And Dunbar just can't find a way to get that ball in the hoop.
Getting good looks, they just can't finish right now.
Yeah. Wilson lines up for the 3. Eric Morgan Jr. with the 3-pointer.
That's one of the one guys for Wilson you don't want to leave open for 3. He's one of their best shooters on the team, and a lot of times they give him up.
Whoa! Darren Buchanan Jr. with the flush. That's just some of the exciting stuff we're going to see tonight. Probably won't be the first time. I mean, the last time. But it was exciting to watch.
Open inside. Again, that's 3 missed layups from Wilson. I mean, from Dunbar. That's killing them right now. That would mean they were only down 1 and 2.
And this has quickly turned into a dunk contest here.
The momentum is all with Wilson as the crowd is getting into it a little bit after two dunks for Wilson.
Yep, Wilson out to the early 10-0 lead here, and it's going to be a timeout, and we'll get back to you after the timeout. 10-0 Wilson here.
Remember to subscribe for more content like this.
Yep, please subscribe.
He drives in, takes. Oh, he misses the wide open layup.
It's a missed layup there. Missed layup there by Wilson. It's going to be Dunbar ball here, out of bounds. Dunbar just can't finish around the rim.
Another fast break.
Another fast break. It's going to be an and one for Wilson. Chance to make it 13-0. Just like you said earlier, you know, they like to get out to those fast starts and then, you know, put teams under quick, and it's incredible that they got the talent to do that.
Yeah, because these teams are not used to the pressure that Wilson brings them. They make them go quick. They make the game go quicker. They push the pace, and teams are used to slowing it down. They don't let it get into their half-court offense because their pressure not only like causes turnovers, but in the half-court setting, it makes it so that the teams have less time offensively to score, and they are forced to take quicker shots.
Dunbar there with their first points of the game, coming from number 20, Taiwan Jackson. But they're going to need to make sure that they guard some key players, and, you know, and there's a misfire pass by Darren Buchanan Jr. But they're going to need to make sure that they finish the opportunities they have and they don't turn over the ball, because we've had, 4 to 6 points already from Wilson just off of turnovers.
Wilson had the right idea right there by the pass by Darren Buchanan Jr., but couldn't complete the pass to get a wide open layup from Messiah Brown.
Yeah, and a little bit of a clumsy foul there by Darren Buchanan Jr. I think the only reason why he did it was to slow down Dunbar after Dunbar figured out the Wilson press. But still, like, as a bigger man, I don't know if I recommend picking up a foul like that. And Wilson here gets the rebound.
Not much of a fast break there as Eric slips on when grabbing the rebound.
Dunbar here with the chance to break. And they get the two. It's going to be 13-4 Wilson.
Wilson is a little bit of a surprising, somewhat of a surprising team, as they're, compared to last year especially, they're a lot younger of a team after losing four or five seniors to college or just graduating. But they're led by a lot of juniors and sophomores this year, and they still are.
Absolutely great play there by Darren Buchanan Jr. Even with the contact, still finds a way to manage that basket and get a three-point play out of it.
I'm telling you, he finishes around the rim like crazy. Just His bounce is insane.
Yeah, his demeanor, man. When you see him take off, it's gonna be hard to stop him. Like you just, at that point you're better off just letting him take the dunk and try to counter.
I would not want to jump with him.
Oh, and he just misses the free throw. So it's still an 11-point game here. Yep, that's backcourt. It's just sloppiness by Dunbar, really. Sloppy. But Wilson here keeping on the pressure, it looks like. Most of the starters are staying out there.
But checking in for Wilson is number 35, Dylan Thompson.
And out came number 11, Philip Carter.
Wilson likes to run these weave action up top.
Yeah, and that's a great steal there by Dunbar. And they'll finish 15-6.
Dunbar using a little bit of Wilson's medicine on them with the pressure and causing turnovers right now. Getting back into this game, taking the lead back to single digits.
Yeah, and once again there, you saw problems with finishing the fast break there as Danny Buchanan's three goes wide. And then Dylan Thompson finishes the play with the two-pointer. But Dunbar on that last break, they were having trouble finishing the layup. And it's just, it's been the normal for them this game. And they got to find a way to get those easy buckets in because Wilson's actually giving them those opportunities. They just have to finish.
Yeah, because even though they finished the layup after all, they had two opportunities at first and they missed both of them and then finally made the third one. Another fast break by Wilson, 4-on-3. And
there's maybe a potential foul there in the middle of the court, but
the Steers a little slow to get up.
Yep, Dunbar is going to try to counter faster. It's weird because Dunbar keeps getting into deep into Wilson's side of the court, but I don't see their outside presence, someone who can extend the floor and open up even more lanes in the middle. Right now, it's like Wilson's kind of just playing compact because they know that Dunbar can't shoot threes.
Good block right there by Jay Young.
It's a great block there, yeah.
Nothing easy inside. After you would think that it's the easy bucket after it's being a 2-on-1 fast break. Dunbar's got to be able to capitalize on those opportunities if they want to win this game.
So foul is going to be on number 3, Jay Young, the second. And it's going to be on the ground, so Dunbar's going to take it from under the basket. Not a very smart pass there by Dunbar.
Beautiful pass right there by Wilson.
And
another and one finish by Messiah Brown.
It's going to be the same guy there. Number 4, Lance Hampton, that had the ill-advised pass, is also the one that committed the foul there.
Messiah is one of those guys that is one of the better finishers through contact for Wilson. I got a lot of guys that can do that, but he's one of the main guys that I feel like every time he goes up, he's having contact around the rim, but he still somehow finds a way to go fight through it and finish the layup. Good D right there by Dylan Thompson to not foul and still be able to contest the shot where Dunbar couldn't get an easy layup when he was right there in front of the basket.
Yep. So 19-6 here, Wilson over Dunbar so far. Wilson, Eric Morgan Jr. sets up for 3, misses, and number 2, Darren Buchanan Jr.
Shot clock is turned off. That's a sloppy foul. That's gonna be the bonus, I think. 1-1.
So it's going to be a 1-1 here for Wilson. Good chance to get some free points, but
That's one of Darren's weaker parts of his game right now is his free throw shooting. He's a little inconsistent at some points, as being a younger player that comes with it.
Yeah, and as he develops that free throw, his shooting from the floor will also increase. So
Yeah.
you'll start to see a higher shooting percentage. But it takes time, and this Wilson staff is gonna have to work with him, really push him to figure those little things out since he already has the aerial attack. Oh my.
Because he has so many, with another great pass by Darren. He has so many of those great things that he can do, like pushing the floor, attacking the basket by himself. His great passing vision, which I think is very underrated.
Yep. So at the end of the first quarter, it's 21-6, Wilson over Dunbar so far, and we'll see you at the start of the second. (21-6) here, Wilson against Dunbar. Start of the second quarter. Dunbar is going to try to get some pressure on Wilson and try to decrease his deficit.
Wilson
Dunbar
switched
for
into
three,
their
and it goes way wide.
Wilson has switched into their 3-2 zone, and checking for Wilson is number 4, Connor Venable, a sophomore guard. Wilson's defense is very versatile because they can do, in the half court especially, they can go half court trap, they can go 2-3 zone, they can go man, they can go 3-2 zone, and it just confuses the offense where they don't really know what to do with it.
Yep, and Dunbar with the push there. That's a good bucket by number 1, Milton Milling, to try to decrease this deficit here.
Couldn't hold on the ball right there as Wilson tried to push the fast break.
Some good movement here by Dunbar. Let's see. Oh, yeah, they're going to have to move this ball faster now.
Almost a turnover by Dunbar, but.
Yep, rebound there by Darren Buchanan Jr. Out to Eric Morgan.
Oh
my gosh, and he just got denied. That's a tough one. That's a really good block, though. That's what you like to see.
Oh, right idea. Just couldn't finish the alley-oop.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's his non-dominant hand going up, fading away from the basket. That's really tough.
Yeah. Wilson likes to do it where they run a lot of inbound plays to him off alley-oops because he's so athletic.
Yeah, but I mean you can't blame him if that doesn't go in. It's a tough one.
And
it's gonna be a foul there.
Connor with a very scrappy play,
yeah.
as he misses his first floater, but then grabs his own rebound and goes up and gets fouled. He's gonna have 2 shots at the line.
And Connor will miss his first free throw.
Wilson's crowd has simmered down a little bit right now as Connor misses 2 of 2.
You gotta imagine if Darren makes that dunk, though, this place is erupting, like, you know, that alley-oop. And there's gonna be a backcourt violation here.
Just very sloppy play by Dunbar. It's gonna be a timeout, Wilson. Remember to subscribe to Wilson Live, and if you want to be notified the next time we're live, you can press the bell button right next to the subscribe button, and it will notify you when we are next live, so that you can get more content like this.
Yep, and speaking of next time we're live, Friday we have
another triple header.
Yep, another triple header. At 4:30 we have Wilson boys JV versus Cardozo boys JV, and then at 5:30, actually that game's at 4, right? And then at 5:30 we have the girls varsity for Wilson against Cardozo girls varsity, and then lastly we have the nightcap with boys varsity for Wilson against Cardozo varsity.
They like to do those games where they bring the same school in and have 3 games in a row where they have the JV boys, they have the varsity girls, and they have the varsity boys in a row.
Yep, so another great day of back-to-back action, you know.
Yep, and those would be I think it's, at least for the boys, it's the boys varsity, it's the last home game of the season.
Yep, so, a little bit of a tough play there. So number 3, Siku Sidbury, he's gonna go to line, yeah.
Jay Young's gonna line. Sorry, that was.
Oh, my bad. I was looking at Dunbar's roster. Yeah. Jay Young.
A lot of contact right there on that play. He knocks down the first free throw. Now second free throw is up, and it's good. He knocks 2 of 2. Wilson goes back into their 2-2-1 press.
It's important for Dunbar to find the man in the middle of the zone there, and then try to have him distribute out to the wingers. But let's see if they'll be able to get that done.
It's gonna be a foul on number 3, Jay Young. He did not like that foul call. He didn't believe he fouled him right there.
Yep. Dunbar really needs a bucket here, though. You got to feel like if they want to keep this close, they cannot be doing things like that. Oh, and there was a tip. Okay, so it is going to be Dunbar ball, but still it's just got to be a little cleaner, you know, maybe some better decision making to avoid.
Dunbar's going to have to go quick with only 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Pick and roll action, great block. And they got numbers wide open. And another great finish by Darren McKinnon Jr. That's his second dunk of the game.
That's going to be a charge. Is that not? It's going to be a charge. Oh, no, they called it a...
They're not going to call that on Nasir Best, who was inside trying to draw the charge. They're going to say Darren was, I think, held something. I don't know. Touched the shooter, and so they're going to override that call of the charge and call that a foul on him.
Oh, so I think they're calling a reach-in on number 2, Darren Buchanan, and that was before the shot.
And checking in for Wilson will be Messiah Brown after these free throws are the first free throws taken.
Yeah, and excuse me for that. Apparently they thought it was during the process of the shot. Communication here is it's a little iffy at moments, but trying to do our best here.
Little pressure from from Dunbar in a 1-3-1 trap. Not fully because they're not extending all the way full court, but probably like 3/4 court press.
And Dunbar there with a good 2-pointer to make it a closer game, 14-point game. Just gotta cut out all the turnovers, play some solid defense, and should be okay.
Oh, a lot of contact right there, but no foul call.
Yeah, I thought that definitely could have been 2 shots at the strike, but instead it's 2 points for
Game's
Dunbar.
getting a little rough right here now.
Oh my,
Travel.
and that's a travel.
Dunbar is still in it right now. They're playing scrappy and only down 12 points right now. If they can continue to stop Wilson from scoring the ball, they can get back in this game.
Yeah, you'd like to see them get this game to under 10.
Yeah.
And that's gonna help right there. It's a 10-point game here.
Really been the place Wilson's really been giving stuff up is they haven't been getting up threes. They haven't been getting enough stuff in the paint, at least right now. But it's all been mid-range shots, and they've been turning the ball over.
And Wilson's kind of stalled here on offense. It's been quite some time since they got their last field goal, but
yeah, their half-court offense, they excel when they're getting out in transition, and Dunbar's doing a good job of not letting that happen.
yeah, I think that there needs to be more cuts, like in the half-court offense, just to try to create some of that room and that momentum going forward. Because Wilson has some bigger dudes. Like, I mean, if they get running, and they go straight towards the rim, there's a pretty good chance they're going to finish, and they're good at finishing through contact, so they need to go back to that in order to regain a bigger advantage here. Of course, they still have the lead. But.
Yeah, a little bit of chippy thing right here.
Drawing.
It's
This could be a double technical.
Between black 24, they got right in each other's face. Number 24.
I don't know. I think they're going to call this a jump ball, which would be possession arrow.
A little bit of a tussle. This game's getting a little more physical and chippy right now. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna call anything on that.
I mean, they could potentially call a double technical here.
Yeah.
And the ball would I think the ball would go to the possession arrow. Yeah. So the ball's gonna go with the possession arrow.
But they're not calling a double technical. They're just calling a jump ball.
Oh, okay. So no fouls.
I'm a little surprised by this, as in previous games here, at least it was different refs, but they've called for much less things. They've called technical on Wilson and the opposing team.
3-pointer there for Dunbar. It's no good.
Oh, a little bit of a bad pass right there by Philip Carter.
Yeah, it's a good pick there by Dunbar. Well, they'll take it straight to the hole. That's a good drive.
Great finish right there by number 2. And right now Dunbar has all the momentum, as Wilson's lead is now only at 7.
Yeah, and they're actually on a hold play here. Someone's got to clean off this floor because there has been a lot of slipping tonight. And then on top of that, you just had a sweaty man.
Land on it.
Yeah, so then now you got like some moisture. It's just there should really be a mop out here, something to try to take all the dust off the floor and stuff like that. It's another good block there, but Darren Buchanan will finish it.
Good finish, and
to keep it at a 9-point game.
He does his classic celebration where he puts his hand down, saying like the opposing teams are too little. Nothing easy right inside right now for Dunbar. That's going to be a foul. It's going to be 2 shots to the line as they're in the double bonus.
Yeah, and that's actually, that might not be the worst strategy here. Let's just see how Wilson does with their free throws, because, at a certain point, if this game gets close enough, just put Wilson at the line. I don't know. I feel like today they haven't been really hitting on the free throws.
I don't know. I'm not saying for everyone, but I agree that strategy is good for some people, but I don't think you want to put Eric Morgan Jr. at the line. He's a great 3-point shooter. I haven't really seen him at the line too much, but as he knocks down the first one.
No, I agree. Definitely wouldn't do that with Eric Morgan Jr. But there's some other kids on this team who are young enough, and in tight situations you can put them at the line. It's a 10-point game here.
Great defense right there by Wilson.
Yeah, and that's Dunbar ball right there. Yep. So
What Wilson does on the when they're playing their 3-2 zone, they put their most athletic guy up top to kind of cause Dunbar to be a little bit harder to throw the ball over, cause more turnovers because he's a lengthier and athletic guy up top.
good job by Dunbar to get that ball in, and they're gonna line up for 3 here.
And he
It's
missed.
no good.
That's over the back call.
Yeah, it looks like an over the back there.
And that's gonna be
2 shots, right?
2 shots at the line.
It's not a great foul. I mean, you go from potentially getting a rebound to giving Wilson a shot at 2 points, even though in all fairness it is Darren Buchanan, so
Not the greatest free throw shooter
not
right
the
now.
greatest, but nonetheless still just free opportunity.
It's been a very long second quarter with lots of fouls this half, with both teams being in the bonus, with Wilson with 7 fouls and Dunbar with 10 or more, because they're now in the done of bonus, so they don't count. They don't keep track with the fouls anymore.
Darren Buchanan, oh, he blows him a kiss.
He knocks down both free throws. Great defense right here by Wilson. Good block right there by Philip Carter.
And he kept it in bounds. Well done.
Great play in general. And he's going to have another 2 shots at the line after getting fouled.
Wilson's starting to take back the momentum now, opening it up to a 12-point lead. Let's see if they can. Let's see if they can keep it and not let it slip a little bit.
And he knocks down the first free throw. Right now he's 3 of 3 from the line. And he makes the next one. He's 4 of 4 from the line.
This is a 14-point game here for Wilson. I think the only way Dunbar is going to get through this Wilson zone right now is, maybe try to find some passing lanes and just fire the ball around.
Yeah, or Wilson is the main weak part, exactly like I was about to say, the main weak part of a 3-2 zone is the corners. Since there's only 2 people on the bottom, it opens up opportunities to shoot, and that's exactly what Dunbar did. Another foul.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that, but I think, getting the ball in the middle and then whipping it out wide will definitely give you a good chance, because the zone will collapse when you pass it into the middle. So that's kind of where I was going. But Darren Buchanan at the line for 2. And the first one is good.
Dunbar has not been able to really get any momentum right now, since I think just fouls can be a big momentum killer, as it just slows the game down and gives the other team easy free points to the line.
Darren Buchanan trying to keep up the great free throw percentage. Oh, and it just rims out. It's going to be Dunbar ball here. Dunbar still up by 12.
You mean Wilson's still up by 12?
Or, yes, my bad. Wilson's still up by 12. Sorry, just 3 games. Last game, it was Dunbar up by 12. But that could have been a travel right there.
Yeah, he picked up the ball a little bit, and no call. He kind of just did a hop step and then dribbled again, but no call right there by the ref.
Yeah, you can see Wilson, head coach there, a little fired up about that.
Wanted the call right there.
But Dunbar will spread the ball around.
Wilson now switched into a 2-3 zone. Again, they have so many of these defenses in their repertoire where they can switch between. Actually, it's a man. They can switch between them like it's nothing, and it really hurts the other team because they don't know what defense they're really going to be throwing at you. It's going to be a jump ball. And Wilson's head coach is going to have to watch out a little bit as he's totally on the floor. He's inside the three-point line.
He's way off the court there.
Yeah, as he wanted a foul call right there and didn't want the jump ball, even though it's going to be Wilson ball anyways.
Yeah, he's a little bit fired up there. He's gotta watch it, man. He's lucky. He's got a ref with some patience.
The refs are letting them play a little bit more and being less cautious or less likely to give a technical, as some of the other refs are. Oh, I think that's the right call right there.
Yeah,
I think contact right there.
Yeah, it looks more like a defensive back trying to catch down a receiver in the open field. It's just
No, but if they wouldn't have called a foul right there, then would have been a wide open lane for an easy dunk.
Yeah, this building would have definitely gone up in some motion. You like to see Dunbar try to get this game to under 10 before half, so they can try to come out and make a start, or make a quick start to the second half in order to cut it down even further.
Yeah. This has been the most competitive home game for Wilson's varsity team this year, as all three other games by the first half they were already up by 30 points, which allowed in the DCIA rule is if you're up by 30 points, then your starters have to come out and the clock runs. So this game hasn't had the same thing, so Wilson's starters have been able to play more.
Yep. This is a really important possession here for Dunbar. Let's see if they can. Oh, man, and again.
Just a sloppy pass right there. It's just
sloppy.
It's going to be Wilson ball. If they really go quick, they can go 2 for 1 with 39 seconds left on the clock. But if they only have 9 seconds to really do anything, if they wanted that.
Yep, and earlier in the game, that was also number 4, Lance Hampton right there, that made the same backcourt violation, bad pass, that led to a foul at the other end and an and one. So he's been having a little bit of trouble with that. We'd like to see him clean up his passes there. And the shot clock's off here for Dunbar. I'd like to see them potentially hold for the last shot.
No, Wilson's, they got 17 seconds left to go quick. 3-on-2 fast break.
I don't know why you'd give.
Oh, and Messiah's down there a little slow to get up. Has a lot of contact, but a lot of contact down going on the floor.
That's
but
an open 3.
No foul. Didn't need to take that shot. I don't think he really knew how much time was left on the clock, and took a fading 3, which he could have probably set up his feet and gotten a better look.
Yep. And so at halftime here, it's 33-21 Wilson, and we'll get back to you for the start of the second half in about 10 minutes. All right, and we are back from halftime. It is 33-21 Wilson Tigers over Dunbar, and this is going to be a charge. This one's going to be Wilson's ball, for sure.
Good defensive play right there by number 11, Philip Carter.
It's crucial that both teams try to get an early bounce here on the second half because, you know, for Wilson's to try to put Dunbar away and for Dunbar's to try to get back in this game.
Yeah. Because if Wilson comes out here with a lot of energy and extends its lead from 12 to 22 or whatever, the game will start to really get out of hand for Dunbar. But Dunbar can do the same for Wilson the opposite way. If they bring this game back to 2, it's really like a really close game then. So whoever really comes out aggressive and plays with energy is really going to set the tone for the second half.
Yep. This is crucial here that Dunbar tries to get something going. Oh, and Dunbar with a great tip pass, and it won't be enough. Oh, it might have.
That's just like those are the little things that Wilson really has to like. They can't really. They're not. It's not a big enough game where they have to finish those layups and things like that. Where that's another missed layup by Jaio Petty. That's 2 missed layups. That's something you can't do in a varsity basketball game. He's got to be able to finish those.
It's going to be another jump ball, and this time it's going to be Wilson, I believe. Nope. It is going to be Wilson's ball.
They got a fast break, and Philip Carter with a wide open layup right there to extend Wilson's lead to 14.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this full court press by Dunbar. I feel like, try to force Wilson to beat you in the half court. I wouldn't give him space like that to run out. Excuse me.
It's a good foul by Wilson, not allowing Dunbar to get an easy layup. Those are the type of fouls I'm not mad at when you're stopping a bucket, especially since none of Wilson guys are a lot in foul trouble at all, where it's not like one foul really matters that much right now.
Yeah, that last one really makes you think because he had a wide open guy in the corner. He could have just literally, handed it to him almost.
Yeah.
But he's tried to go in for the hard, he tried to go for the hard pass, and he accidentally threw it out of bounds. And, when you're down 14, it matters a lot. When you're up by 14, whatever. But, this is big. And if they want to come back, they got to get the little things right. And then the big things will come. That right there is open. They're open. They're all open.
They can't give that up. Even though he missed it, it's like that's Wilson's main shooter right now. That's on the floor right now, and they can't give up a wide open 3 like that. Even though he missed it, it's still like there's things you shouldn't be doing when you're down 16.
There we go, wide open 3.
He's got to knock that down.
Yeah. It's almost like one of those things where you got too much time. Oh, and that's a carry. So Dunbar kind of escapes there. 16-point game. There's still time.
Wilson still, even though they're up 16, they're playing really sloppy right now after 2 missed layups. So the game should really be at 41-21. So they should really be up 20. And then the turnover on also a fast break. So both teams are playing a little sloppy right now, and we'll see whichever team really comes out and starts to handle it down, then they can really take momentum and either Dunbar come back in this game or Wilson really take it to a point where Dunbar's not going to come back.
Wilson with some good ball movement here. They get it in the middle of the zone. Oh, that's a good block. I mean, a little bit of contact, but
beautiful cut right there by Eric, but great defense right there by Dunbar.
Yeah, I just feel like overall, that's a pretty good block. A lot of people are going to complain about the contact there, but it's high school basketball, so. And finally, the coach for Wilson, Angelo Hernandez, gets a warning. I thought he got that warning a while ago. I mean, he's been, chatting around all game. They're going to call this a jump ball. This is going to be Dunbar's ball. So when they need the big defensive stand, they got it. Now they got to convert it into offense.
Stolen by Wilson and a little bit of a fast break. Like, those are one of those things, like, Dunbar is clearly in front of the Wilson guy. He's trying to backpedal, or you can just sprint down and get to that block and, play hands up, where you're not going to give him that easy layup, where then he let Eric, get by him, so that then he's playing from behind instead of playing it from in front, where those things, you can't, if you're running towards it, running straight, you're not going to be able to see him, but it's better defense in the long run.
Yeah, maybe even try to potentially draw the charge or something like that. It's just like the little pieces I kind of feel like this Dunbar team is missing. But they have some athletic kids. They got some, they got a decent game plan. They just need to execute it a little better. And that's going to be a traveling.
Tried to split that those two Wilson defenders right there, but gonna get called for a travel with too many steps.
Once again, I don't like this full court press here. You may or may not get a turnover, but at the end of the day, you're just giving Wilson so much room to just go straight at the basket.
Because if I'm Dunbar, I want to slow this Wilson team down. I don't want to make them, even though they're behind, and usually when their teams are behind, they want to speed the game up. But Wilson is not as great of a half-court set team, whereas they're full, when they're going in transition, when they're going downhill, they score a lot more.
And so that's going to be number 11. Actually, yeah, that's going to be number 11, Philip Carter, who made the first free throw, and the second one's underway. And he makes the second free throw. Well done there by Philip Carter. It's a 19-point game. You'd like to see Dunbar try to make it interesting, but man, it seems like that halftime really did a number.
Fast break. It's 4-on-5, and not a bad foul by Dunbar. Not allowing Wilson to get an easy layup after number. I don't remember what number. I think it was number 5 was slow to get up on the other side of the court a little bit, so they had a little bit of numbers. It's worked a couple times this game, but this time Phillip is moving on the screen as trying to get the shooter Eric Morgan Jr. open for 3.
Yep. So I really do feel like Dunbar needs to get points on this possession. Oh man. And instead they turn it over, and that's going to be 2 for Wilson. And so now you look up at the board and you say, okay, well, maybe this game is out of reach, do you think there's still time for Dunbar to come back? Or?
They got 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in this third quarter. The third quarter is primarily maybe the most important quarter of the game for a team to really come back if they're down in the first half. Because once it gets to the fourth, sometimes it's a little too late, especially with this game being at 21 points. They really have to start. If they start, they got to start scoring quickly, or start scoring a lot. And because it's not like Wilson has scored that many points. They only have 42 points in the third quarter. That's not a crazy amount where Dunbar's defense is really doing bad. They've only put 21 points up on the board. They gotta be able to score the basketball more.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if I can see a way that Dunbar is gonna put up, the same amount of points that they put up in, let's call it, I don't know, 20 minutes. I don't know if they're gonna do that for the rest of the game.
Yeah. as Darren checks in for his first time in the second half. He got a little rest after playing for most of this first half. Darren was featured twice on Overtime's Twitter for his poster dunk over in the game against McKinley Tech. A little bit of pressure for Dunbar, but it's going to be a turnover travel on Wilson. Travel by Wilson, I mean. Actually, it's not a travel. It's going to be a foul on Darren. He's going to have a little hook when he got past the guy. He must have had his hand behind him, kind of warding off the defender, and they're going to call a foul on that. Good defense right there by Wilson. A little bit of numbers.
Darren's going to pull it back. Oof, I thought he was going to take that three. Instead, Eric Morgan will, and he'll misfire.
Not the greatest look right there. He didn't have his feet set, and he was going away from the basket, where those are the shots you don't want to take that much, because all your momentum is going away from it instead of going towards the basket. That's unfortunate for Dunbar, as they had a 3-0 fast break and couldn't capitalize on that.
Yeah, they definitely would have brought the game back into reach.
And checked in for Wilson is number 35, Dylan Thompson.
I still don't know how I feel about this full court press. Fortunately, Wilson did opt to take it in their half court offense.
Sear kicks out.
It's an and one opportunity there for number 10.
Petty.
Petty.
It's interesting, on their roster they don't have a single center on the roster. They got a lot of guards and 2 forwards. So they have Philip Carter as a senior forward who's 6'7", and they have Dylan Thompson a junior forward, 6'7". So 6'5". So they're opting to say that they're a smaller team, even though they have guys like Darren Buchanan Jr., a 6'6" sophomore guard, or Jael Petty, a 6'7" junior guard, or even those are the main guys that are tall for a guard, but
yeah, it's like they don't really have that developed center like they used to with the Twins.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see next year, as only having 2 seniors on the roster, to see how these juniors and sophomores develop, where they'll have 4 out of the 5 starters returning, to see that this team could really develop to be something good, as they're already a great team this year. With next year, they'll have a lot of their guys returning, and just be more developed as a team and get better, get bigger, get stronger. Because I know these guys have put a lot of work in during this past summer, and they'll probably put a lot of work in this off season after this season too.
So a 20-point game here, nearing the end of the third quarter. And the coach for Dunbar is yelling double fist, which I believe is full court press.
Yeah.
So, he's kind of overusing that. I would have waited to, maybe use some of that a little later, but yep, there we go.
Nasir does a great job breaking the press on his own, and it leads to a wide open shooter. That's his 12th point on the day for number 0, Eric Morgan Jr.
Gives Wilson that 22-point lead that's just so hard to come back from.
Great finish right there by number 2. He brought it up and then finished not through contact, but had
through bodies, yeah.
Yeah.
So Dunbar.
Dunbar really hasn't been able to get to this game under 20. It's been lots of like, oh, they'll go down to 25 and then they'll bring it back to 20 or stuff like that. They just haven't been able to bring it over that big mark, and we'll see if they can. If they do that, then maybe they can get on a run and bring this game back down to under 10.
Yeah, and it was like in the first half you saw them like try to bring the game back, to under 10, and they kept getting to 10, and then they kept getting stuck, and they kept getting to 10, and they kept getting, stuck, and then, in the second half it was like then they got up to 20, and now they, 20, 25, now they keep getting stuck. It's like they gotta be able to hit some benchmarks and just go past it if they want to come back, because the time is running out. There's only about nine and a half minutes left in this game.
Yeah.
There's going to be a foul on someone here.
It's going to be a foul on Nasir Best, number 1. Hold. Didn't really see that much contact, but he clearly had the better angle from being behind the hoop right there. And from the rest of the way on, it'll be, for Dunbar, it'll be free throws as they're in the bonus. And the next foul on Dunbar will also make Wilson be in the bonus. So it's going to be, if there's fouls, there's going to be a lot of free throws for both teams going on.
See, I don't know, something about that.
Oh. Great press fake right there by Wilson. Has it up top. Clearly a size advantage. Fint tries to take up a little bit of, not a good look at the layup right there, but could have, I thought he could have posted that guy up with him having the clear size advantage over the opponent.
It is a 16-point game now, so maybe try to get under 15.
Chip in by Dunbar, yeah. If they can get this game under 15 in this fourth quarter, it's not totally out of reach. They're just gonna have to make something magic happen in this fourth quarter if they really want to win this game.
Or even just extend it. I don't know if there's overtime in DCIAA, but yeah, if they want to extend it, then.
And out of the game, checks out Jayo Petty and checks in Connor. He knocks down the first of a 1-and-1.
Yeah, that's not really the guy you want to foul. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, if you're gonna foul someone smart, and so, by doing that full court press, you're limited. Because when the other team breaks the press, and you're not gonna get that.
Good hustle right there. He ran right into the scorer's table. He's get great hustle right there though.
Now it's back to a 20-point game. So we talked about Dunbar getting the point. Getting it low.
They got to 16, and then they foul. They don't grab the rebound. Wilson is hustling more than Dunbar right now and bringing it right back to 20 right there.
Yep. So it's just like Wilson. They got the big lead, and then it kind of fades, and then.
I mean, it's still a big lead, but not fading a little slightly.
All right. So 51-31 here at the end of the third quarter, and we'll be back for the start of the fourth. Back to the start of the fourth quarter here, 51-31. Wilson over Dunbar so far.
Pick and roll action right now is for Wilson as Dunbar is in a little bit of a man defense right now. It's going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to have a 1-and-1. Again, Dunbar, one thing they do not want to do is foul Wilson right now, as that's going to lead to easy points that they do not want to give up right now if they really want to cut in this lead. And oh, he misses the first of a 1-and-1. Maybe they do want to foul. Is it some of the players are a little more inconsistent as from the free throw line as they're younger, as Wilson having 6 sophomores on the roster. And he misses the second.
No, it was the front end of a 1-on-1.
Oh, first.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
bad.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Just to show like people like they're in the bonus.
Good hustle right now by Wilson.
Yeah, good hustle by both teams. It's a 20-point lead here for Wilson, but Dunbar they need to start scoring now.
Both coaches are very vocal on their opinions of what the refs' calls are making.
Yeah, but with that, like to that point, I mean, the Dunbar coach has been very composed. Like, he's not tweaking over the little things, but when he thinks something is right, when he knows it's right, he will open his mouth.
Well, it's not necessarily the head coach has been very quiet, in my opinion. It's the assistant coach on the bench has been more vocal than him.
Yeah, but like with Wilson, like the head coach is just yapping away, and he already has a warning. I'm honestly surprised the refs haven't teed him up yet.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like just watching from here. He's just been saying a lot.
He's very prideful in his vocalness. I think though he likes to talk to his players a lot, and
yeah, and I feel like I've been here in games where refs they don't like that, and they have teed up Wilson's coach. So these refs are a little more lenient. And that's playing in the favor of Wilson.
Yeah, definitely, because since like they had that one argument where the players got right in their faces, and in other games that I've commentated over, it's been way smaller things of just maybe just a little chatter after like a finish around the rim, and then was worse than that. And now they're going to call the first technical foul on number 20 for Dunbar. Oh, and he misses both free throws. I mean, the first free throw of a technical. And that's
number 24 will come into the game for Dunbar.
Yeah, as number 20 is now fouled out of the game, he won't be returning. And he knocks down the second of the technical foul.
So I'm not really sure what the technical foul was for, but I actually thought that the original play, I thought that was a clean play. I didn't think that was a shooting foul, but
So he misses.
Why are there?
He's gonna have 4 shots because it's a double bonus, so there's gonna be 2 shots at the line for the foul, and then 2 shots for the technical foul.
Yeah, but usually after like 2 shots, they'll come up.
I think they just did it because it was a technical foul with it, so they just decided to, instead of having them come back up with it, they'll do both with a technical foul format.
All right, sounds good.
Eric has it. A little bit of hand check right there for number 24. Pressure from Wilson, and that's a bad foul. Like, that's just not needed. Where you're just like going after the ball like it's something, and he's clearly hit the Wilson player where it shouldn't have. Like, there's no need for that in a game where there's 7 minutes left, and I feel like we've been here for 10 minutes as it's been very contact heavy in this 1 minute, only with 1 minute going into this the fourth quarter.
Yep. Connor will knock down the first free throw. And the second one is a miss, but Dunbar will recover.
A little bit of a half-court trap from Wilson.
Oh, and that's a good floater there by Dunbar to bring it back to a 19-point game. Oh, that's a great steal.
Not a good pass right there. And he's going to miss the layup, but they'll have the off.
And one for Dunbar.
Not much contact right there, but they're going to call the foul, and he's going to have 2 shots. I mean, he's got 1 shot. But from now on, both teams are in the double bonus, so this last 6 minutes and 30 seconds of the game, every foul will be 2 shots to the line.
Yeah, and there's a good chance to bring it down to a 16-point game, and he does. So 16-point game. I mean, they're not out of it, but if they're down to 15 and they did this,
Yeah. They've done this a little earlier than they might have been able to come back in this game. And Wilson will call a timeout.
Try to avoid that 10-second.
Yeah, it was 1 second off of 10-second violation, but
better be safe than sorry, I guess. Because, if you let that up, that's a big momentum changer. In this case, we just keep the ball.
Yeah. Remember to subscribe to Wilson Live and help support the channel by liking the video and turning on, if you want more content like this, you can turn the notification bell, the bell right next to the subscribe button, where you can be notified the next time we're live. And the next time we'll be live is this Friday for another triple header.
Starting at 4 p.m. Back with 6:20 left in the fourth quarter. Wilson up by 16 against Dunbar. The attitude of the gym has really gone down. It was really hyped up in the beginning of the game. Now everyone's kind of just tired from a long day, at school, at work, and people are ready to go home. But we're still enjoying this. Dunbar still somewhere in it, just, hanging around. But
I'm surprised so many people are here, especially since it's at least at Wilson, it's midterm week, so a lot of tests this week for students at Wilson. Knocks down the first free throw.
It's a big rebound there by Dunbar. Let's see if they can turn it into some points.
Stolen by Wilson. Could have been called a kickball violation right there, but Messiah Brown's going to take the wide open easy layup. 2-3 zone by Wilson.
That's some good basketball there by Dunbar. There really is.
Really good pass. Just break the press like that, and when he misses the layup. That's a couple missed layup right now for Wilson. They've had a couple of those opportunities where it's a wide open bucket, and they could have really extended this lead as Dunbar cuts it down to just 15. Beautiful pass right there by Nasir Best to get it to Messiah Brown. And they shoot the
Dunbar
three,
is
knocking
just
it
not
down.
going away though.
Cutting the lead down to 14. Cutting down the lead inch by inch. As Wilson is continuing to score the ball.
That's commentator's curse right there. Oh,
Could have been a
that
carry
yeah,
right there.
I thought it was like that double
Shoots a
dribble.
three. Oh, he had the. He tried to he thought he was going out of
Yeah.
bounds, so he could have easily just caught that and then gone right back up with it instead of trying to save it by throwing it back in bounds.
It's a good hustle play, but that was an important possession for Dunbar. I didn't like that three. It almost seemed like a heat check.
Yeah, or just a desperation three as really
Yeah.
trying to get back in this game because threes are better than twos. But this Dunbar team is not a great three-point shooting team.
That's true.
Because if he would have made that layup off that rebound, that would have cut the lead down to 12, and that 12 that's like a.
That's manageable.
I mean, if you get really locking you down, I'm not saying they have to take threes,
Yeah.
but that's a 4-possession game if you take all threes, and Wilson doesn't score at all.
Which at times tonight we have seen this Wilson team stall. So it's not. It could happen.
Like that, those are the kind of things.
Yeah.
Like they make that other layup, they make this layup. That's a 10-point game. That's a 3-possession, 4-possession game. Like that's within reason. When now it's 4 minutes left, Wilson's going on the line for 2 shots. They're up 14. Like you're thinking this game's really over now.
Yeah. Yeah, and Eric Morgan, yeah, he's up to the line, so you can pretty much count him.
Yeah.
It's just Dunbar. They had the right game plan coming in. Their execution from the very, very start of the game was just off, and that quick 13-0 lead that they let up. It's coming back to bite them a little bit. But I actually feel like a lot of these teams, they come in here to Wilson, which has great players, great shooters, just great basketball players, and they come in here with the right mindset, the right game plan. And ultimately, they can't get the job done, and it's just simple. It's just as simple as they don't have the same quality of players,
or the same quality of program in general.
Yeah.
Wilson has a great program here at, especially for basketball.
Yeah.
And they've developed lots of college basketball players, such as they had 3 at Maryland, but now the 2 twins are transferring, and their main one right now is a freshman at Boston College who had a huge game to beat Virginia. He had 17 points, and Virginia, if you didn't know, if you don't watch any college basketball, they're the defending national champions for college basketball.
And same with players like Ricky Lindo in Maryland, but it's just like at the end of the day, like the quality of the players just isn't the same. But just if Dunbar could get half their opportunities back tonight, they could. They could tie this game up right now. Like, they haven't been that far off. It's just, missed layups.
I think both teams didn't show their full potential. Wilson missed a lot of layups and both teams played very sloppy at points with the ball, turned the ball over a lot. This wasn't a great game for Wilson. If I'm the Wilson coach, I'm not happy with this win, even though we won by right now it would be 17. I really believe this. Both teams could play an easily better game. Even though it wasn't a turnover right there for Dunbar, that's just a sloppy pass where if he makes a crisp pass there, then they get an easier bucket. But he knocks down the shot right there and it cut the lead down to 15. Good hop right there, but good defense right there by Dunbar. It's going to be a foul. It's going to be 2 shots to the line.
Number 2's he's a pretty good free throw shooter, so, let's put him at the line.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player in general. He's had some nice layups finishing around the rim. Haven't really seen him score outside the paint area or painted area or floaters close to the basket, but he's shown signs of greatness, but not enough for Dunbar.
Yep. and like, yeah, just overall just a little short for Dunbar. Even though the score says more than that.
One thing I really like from this Dunbar team is they didn't quit. I've seen other teams come in here and be down by the same amount, be down 13-0 or 15-0, something like that, or even 10-0, and they just like kind of give up. And you can see their energy from the beginning of the game has it's gone down a little bit, but overall their hustle is still there, and they're still full court pressing when they're down 16 with 2 minutes to go. Other teams would stop doing that and really kind of give up, but this team is sticking with it. Another turnover by Wilson. They got to work on these little things before tournament time with things like they've played a little sloppy. They turned the ball over a little bit more today. Free throws occasionally at certain points. Great pass, great vision right there by Darren to make a beautiful pass on a cutting Messiah Brown. Another three for Dunbar, and he misses.
It's a good rebound there. Oh, and he couldn't hang on. It's going to be Wilson ball here. So a minute 46 here. Wilson up by 16. It's game, but it's maybe when these two I'm assuming that there's a DCIA tournament, right? Yeah, so when these two meet in the tournament,
or if they do meet, yeah.
Yeah, if they do meet. Dunbar has something to look forward to. And they know that they've missed some chances. I think both teams are going to look back at this game, and they're really going to watch it over in detail. But
yeah, they'll both teams have things to work on that they can put on the work tomorrow and things like that. Where Wilson they get back to practice tomorrow. They work on their free throws. They work on really pushing finishing some layups where they had easy opportunities, and then they'll really extend this lead they'll extend their the lead on the game on Friday will be a good one.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how good Cardozo is this year, but it's like Nathan said, it's gonna be a very good game. Just to see Wilson at home, last home game.
Yeah.
See the emotion they're gonna come out with. Like I was about to say for all the seniors, and there are none. But just to see
And it will be the one of the home games. Like you always know that Fridays, because kids are not always going home, they're more likely to hang out and go to a game like this where it's probably gonna be more packed of a game, even though it is today where there's a lot of fans in the stands. But there's probably gonna be more on Friday, my guess.
Yeah, and most of the kids they've actually stayed. Like I expected them to kind of head out, but they're still around here, even though it's a 14-point game. It's good. It's good to see the culture around this basketball team.
Yeah, Wilson's basketball team is one of their. A lot of their sports are good, but one of the more successful sports during this winter time. So lots of fans like to come and support, or lots of students like to come and support.
It's a great tip in right there.
Yep. Again, Dunbar still showing their heart by pressing this a lot this whole second half, and it's caused turnovers like that. Like, that's just a sloppy play by Wilson. Like, you don't need to throw that full court pass. They can slow the game down a little bit, where they don't need to push the pace as much as they did. Oh, and he tripped right there over his shoe on his ankle. He's grabbing that leg a little bit.
I was going to say, it looks like, maybe pulled something there. I don't know.
Good D right there by Wilson. Now they're just going to hold this ball out actually, no, because Dunbar is still pressing. I just don't see the need for this in this game when they can just get the game over with, when you don't need a foul, when they're up 15 with 31 seconds left. You're not going to win the game. I mean, I guess you're still trying to get better, but with I understand maybe it's 3 minutes left, you're still pressing, you're still trying to come back in this game, but I think under a minute they should really just under 30 seconds, under 40 seconds at least, really let the clock run and just end the game.
Yeah, I think we're going to start to see that. Someone called, no, it's going to be substitution here. Still a lot of...
I think they're just going to hold it out right now.
Yep, and this will do it. This will do it for us. So
we don't want one of those Kansas State things that end a game.
Looks like Wilson's going to take the win on the series today. So Wilson and Dunbar. Wilson wins 2-1, and that's going to be it for you. 72-55, Wilson over Dunbar. This is Gabriel Vani and
Nathaniel Wigman, and this has been Wilson Live.
Please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you. Bye.